Hey everybody, welcome to episode 20 of Building with Sand. Falchion here. It is January 23rd, 2013. And if you're back here from last episode where I was kind of drunk and had people talking in the background and completely unprepared, thank you for returning to my series. I don't know how much more prepared I am this episode. Compared to last. I went ahead and finally finished this road that I had going around this part of the city, and I built a tower. So we'll go take a look at that. It's really tall. We'll take a tour of the outside first, and go from there. I should probably make it day because it's easier to see. Let's go find a bed. I have a hidden bed stashed over here somewhere. So one thing about this tower is looking at it is difficult without being somewhere kind of far back and high up. Luckily, I have super zoom eyes. Hey, what's going on there? That's weird. I gotta back. For some reason, my I have some parts missing. But I'll go up there anyway. So I kind of took some inspiration from this tower. Where am I? From, I guess, a minaret style. Not that I really know exactly what a minaret is for. It's thicker at the bottom. Well, the tower I've made is thicker at the bottom, and then one shaft, and then thinner top, and has these platforms. This one you can't go out on. This one you can, and you can stand up there. The more I look at it, the more I like it. It's got a kind of slightly pointy roof up on top. There was a really good view of it, all from my house. That looked amazing. It was the only thing in the city you could see from over there, but you could see it really well. I'm gonna go down and grab something in case I need it. Somehow I don't have any fences. I have any over here? So nothing particularly exciting has happened since I last put an episode up. I have one fence and one ladder, and I need many more of each. I did work on the inside of this tower some, and I'm not really happy with it. I'm not really sure where to go with it, though. I have to finish this part. I had originally a spiral staircase going all the way up from the bottom. I didn't like the way it looked, so I built one coming from here from the second level. It's not done yet. I'm thickening it up so it looks more like it's stable. But I'm still not super thrilled with the one thick design, although there's not much more I can do about it. So that's something I'm stuck with for now, until I come up with a better idea. And I happen to be short on ladders currently. So you can go all the way up to the top. And you don't really look out on much because of the stuff in the way. But you can see out if you look hard enough. There's stuff out there, but we've seen all that before. It's nothing new. And here. How did I miss that? I could swear I had this up there. There we go. But yeah, I'm not too super worried about the inside of the tower, although I would like to finish it up at some point. I think it's the outside of the tower that needs to look the best, and I do really like... Oh, I meant to finish that archway too. So, but I do really like the way it's come out so far. From the right angles, it looks amazing. And you can see it from almost anywhere that's within draw distance. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. There's still a lot more to it that needs to be done. And part of that is I've kind of had to scratch my head for a while thinking what needs to be done to it to improve on it. I've thought about making the top of it a little pointier, but I don't know. I don't really want to mess with the outside too much. It's fairly simple. That's what I like. And you look at it and you know what it is, and there's not much else to it, and you don't have to worry about it. I also went ahead and I filled in a bunch of the area behind the wall, so I just kind of made it look more like it was attached to the mountain and then just kind of sticking out of it, which I think is much better, but not that it's really a big... I don't think anyone really noticed it otherwise. It just makes it harder on me to get up here, so we don't have quite as much of the walls jutting out up, between the mountain. Over here there's still some big open spaces, but I think it's going to stay like this. And what I want to do, I was just thinking about, is taking the edge of the wall and bringing it out to touch out to this wall. I thought I heard like something creeping up on me. But I want to take that wall and bring it out this way. Sound up? Yeah. So that it comes out and hits the mountain here, and it looks like it's wrapped around it a bit. So it wraps around the tower too, because the tower doesn't really... This part of the tower you don't really need to see unless you're up here. Yeah, that's where we are on this project. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to work on today. I think what I want to do is start digging out the pool. And I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do. I looked at a couple ideas for pools. Nothing I'm super thrilled with. But I want to at least get an outline going and then decide where I want to go from there. There is something large and dark nearby that I've yet to find. I might need to get an X-ray machine out and look for it. Because it'd probably be good to find that before I start digging into the earth and discover myself very far down. But we'll see. I've dug out some of this stuff before and it didn't go anywhere. So we have the way that this wall wraps around in a generally kind of even pattern. It may in fact be even. It turned out... Did it turn out that way? Let's see. No. But it is nearly there. What I'm thinking is we're going to have a pool that wraps around. It's going to be a very large pool because we're talking about public pool size. It's going to wrap around this entire wall area, and yeah, and be square on one side, or so I'll just start digging out and show you what I mean. Thing is, I'm not sure exactly how far away from the wall I want to be. Thinking I should have space for like a chair or two, so maybe 3. I don't want stuff like right up on the wall. Let's see, let me go like this. How does this look? trying to get a basic shape first and then figure out from there. Eyeballing it. How far out from the wall do I want it to be? That was the question. So, this might be a fairly large pool. If I leave it, well, I wonder if this should be bigger or smaller. It should be bigger. At least here. And then I don't want it to be too far out in front of this, but even. Today's Tuesday. I didn't do much since I put up that episode on Sunday. I didn't really do much. I'm trying to think. Went out to dinner tonight with some friends and ish, and came home and did nothing. Today, my wife and I finished Okami, the PS3 version HD, and now it's a matter of rendering the rest of the videos and uploading them to YouTube and waiting for waiting for the day to come when they go up. But until then, we are eventually going to start taping Nidokuni, which came in today. Although we have yet to record it. We ran out of time and that didn't work out, so hopefully tomorrow we will. And so this is my idea for the pool. I'm not sure if the rim is going to be here or here. I'm thinking here. That'd give me a fairly big pool. All I wanted is about 4 on each side, and I can have a rim, and there'll be space for pool chairs or whatever else, and then there will still be space for coming to gaze at the wall. And then I can have something over here, maybe a little pool house somewhere around here, and also there'll be space for the city wall. One thing that they're updating in the next patch is they're making skeletons a lot smarter. They're going to shoot way quicker and be a lot more aggressive. I'm not really looking forward to that. So maybe we should just start digging, because I don't know. I'm just not really sure what the pool is going to look like, and this all is done. Actually should be okay. I've looked at a few patterns. I've messed around with making pools before, and I couldn't really come up with anything nice. I've seen some pools, they're just a big hole in the ground, and that's probably what it's going to be like, because you can't really have stairs because it'll block the water. And there's nothing really fancy you can do except maybe put in like a diving board somewhere. This was originally a rock quarry, or a sand quarry, for much of the sand that I was digging out to build this village over here. And at some point I filled in a lot of it. I'm finding trouble getting a lot of motivation to do Minecraft episodes recently. I have too many hobbies, so I find I'm spreading myself thin quite often. Oh, some lag. And I don't know, I'm maybe draining my creativity in different locations. And also, I don't know. Minecraft doesn't always give me very much, what's the word I'm looking for? You play a game and you beat it, or you do something and you feel good about it. Minecraft doesn't always do that for me. I build a lot of stuff and it doesn't really consistently reward me. Not that, if you play video games, you're playing video games to be entertained, and if you're not, then maybe you should look for somewhere else. So I don't really feel bad if Minecraft isn't really doing it for me at the moment, because I can look somewhere else for something to do, which I frequently do. But I do want to keep this series going. I just hope that I will find some creativity somewhere. I'm not really sure how deep this pool should be. I think I'll have a deep end and a shallow end. This side will be the shallow end, and it will get deeper on this side over here. And this row will be deeper. And I'm gonna have like a diving board or something cool. At a minimum. I am looking forward to the next patch, although there's not much going on with it really that appeals to me, considering it's a redstone update, and I'm not big on doing redstone. A friend of mine asked me why I don't do videos like showing off fancy redstone contraptions, and well, that's just because I'm not good at redstone, and most of the time if I need to build something, I either have to look it up or struggle with designing my own thing for a while. Which really isn't that hard. Once you figure out the basics of redstone, I think you've got almost all of it. But there's new stuff like these comparators and the redstone block that are going to change things quite a bit. And I did look forward to what people come up with. And I'm also looking forward to the new chest system, although I probably won't even put it into use for much, if ever. At least not around here on this server. Minecraft keeps improving slowly, so I'm trying to stick with it. I wonder what would be a good height for this. Well, if we're gonna have the shallow end over here, this might want to be 2 blocks deep, and then over here in the medium the medium depth we'll have it 3 blocks, and then on the deep end we'll have it 4 blocks. Maybe that'll look okay. If not, I'll go 1 deeper on each one. What I do want though is those new quartz blocks, because I think they will look awesome if used the correct locations. I'm gonna struggle with combining them with sandstone for this build, but I think it'll look cool in the end. And I really want to use it on this pool. Like, it would look nice. And I think especially the half slabs would have made a cool looking diving board. So until then I'm going to have to use stone half slabs. it's nice having a new white block, although I don't use a lot of white. And a new red block with that redstone block. You have to be careful how you use it, but it'll be a new red block, which is nice. One thing that now kind of bugs me, and I've been meaning to make an image of it and then post it somewhere like Reddit or tweet it to Dinnerbone or somebody, but it's every ore in the game almost has its own block equivalent. So iron, gold, diamond all have their ore block, and then they have a ingot or whatever, and they have a block. When you combine 8 of them, or 9 of them, excuse me, or yeah, 9 of them, and then you have quartz, which is the new block, or lapis lazuli and quartz. You combine 4 of those and you make a block, and then you have redstone, which is also 9, and that's all the ores in the game except for coal. And coal has its own ore block and its coal equivalent, but there is no coal block. And so now it's the odd man out. They added an ore and then a new block, but there's no coal block still. And I think there needs to be, even if it doesn't have a real purpose. I really want a block just for having consistency's sake. For one thing, having a block would make sense. If it was 4 pieces of ore, make you a coal block, and then they could possibly use the coal block for new purposes. You know, if they're going to go with new rail style stuff eventually, with, you know, multiple mine carts together, linked together to, you know, they could have a little like engine, and you could power it with coal blocks that would have more of a lasting burn than normal pieces of coal. You know, make it like if you have a coal block, you have, you know, like 5 or 6 times the combined time that would be used in, you know, just using 4 pieces of coal. So it'd be a reason to use it. It'd just be an alternative fuel, something like that. And also, it would give us a new black block, because there's no other black block in the game. There's wool, which I don't like using wools as required, you know, colored block for everything. You know, what do we have that's white? We have snow, which has flecks of blue, so it's not really white. And then we have the white wool. For red, we have red wool, and now we have redstone block. For blue, there's diamonds and lapis lazuli, even as ugly as it is. And emerald, we have new green, you know. Oh, emerald is another one I didn't talk about. That has there's the form of it, and then also the block and the ore. So that's, you know, 3 different things. And that's a green block. And then we have, you know, yeah, we also iron. Iron it's whitish, you know. It passes off more as a metal looking block, but it's white. It's white and silver. Also, you know, I was gonna say, stone half slabs are kind of light gray, whatever, except for when you stack them. I don't know. But yeah, so I think it would be nice to have a new black block, because obsidian is definitely not black. It's very purple. And obsidian is a pain to deal with. And there's no obsidian, that which I think should be done too, is there's no obsidian stairs or half slabs, or there's no obsidian bricks or anything. You know, I wish they would just add some more ore types. I don't want to keep referring to mods and all that, but some of the mods have gone the right direction and added things that should be in the game. Or at least, you know, more creative blocks, more just building blocks would be nice. So they have something like basalt, which is a dark gray, almost black, and other, there's other things that just look nice after, just having some more blocks, because we don't have very many biomes in vanilla. Not that I want there to be so many, like in the extra biomes mod, it's starting to get a little stale. And new blocks would always be nice, even if they don't have a purpose. I like to think that this game has, like, one of the big things about this game is it's not hard, and doesn't need to be hard, and on top of that, like, it's a game that creates a lot of, it spurs a lot of creativity, and the more I think that the game can do that, the better, because a lot of kids play this game, and I think introducing younger kids at least, to creative style games is good for them and their development, and also they don't have to go and play games like Call of Duty, which, not that I don't dislike those games, I just don't think a kid that's like 12 years old needs to be playing that kind of stuff. So yeah, but the game is still popular, which is good, and so I'm pretty sure we'll continue seeing a lot of things from it in the future. I'm using the smooth sandstone, because I think it looks the most like something you would see in a pool. I probably inlay some of the chiseled sandstone in as well, but I don't think that the regular sandstone would look good here in this regard. Yeah, I think definitely when we get some marble in, and I could kind of throw that in a certain fashion, it'll look awesome. But until then, we'll continue on with the sandstone. I might, something like a sandstone walls and then a marble floor might look good. I've seen some people do some things like Olympic style swimming pools, which look awesome, but you have to take into, realize that they're also gigantic, and I have, a limited space here. This is already a very big sort of build for kind of what I feel like is becoming limited space in my desert. Pool is coming along. I will do everything I can to make it look fancy, if possible. And I do actually want to put in like a jacuzzi somewhere. Part of this is I'm probably going to need to finally level this hill of sand I have here, and also kind of level out this sand over here too. Fortunately, there's the river biome around here that is... Oh, this desert goes out. And quite a bit. River desert. So I have some space, but then there's this jungle junk here. I wish there was a smarter algorithm to how the biomes spawn in the world, so that things like they were more naturally flowing, because you wouldn't have a desert next to... Well, you could, but it's weird to have just a straight break from desert to jungle, or you know, there'd be a mountain in the way or whatever. There's even deserts by the ocean, but still, I don't know. That'd be something. Maybe I don't know. He thinks like that, but anyway, I don't know if we really got anything accomplished this episode, but we do have the tower up, and I think the tower. I can't really. Well, I could. We do have a map on the server, and the tower, actually looking over from a third person, like a overworld perspective, the tower looks amazing with the rest of the city. And I think when we have a bunch of towers around, like I definitely want to build some more now. It'll be pretty awesome. They'll all look. I really want to make them all look different. But yeah, that's something. I think that's a big piece that's missing in this desert build, is we don't have a lot of vertical heights. You know, does that make sense? We don't have a lot of tall buildings. I don't want to. Pumpkin Pie Factory doesn't count, but I'm thinking things like, you know, we do have the two towers over there at the palace. We do have this tower here on the fort now, but I mean, this is really the tallest thing so far, even though it was built on a higher Y, of course, but it's the tallest thing. And I think having more obelisks around is going to make a difference. I want you to be running around through the city and, you know, looking up, and there'll be things up there. So I think this wall too is part of that. It adds some character to this side of town. Like Poorsville over there, its character is the Pumpkin Pie Factory. Over here in Old Town, we have this kind of, you know, mural going on, this religious sort of thing, and temple-y looking wall, and the palace, and then, you know, all the way over there in Central, there's well, not the ocean, but what is the beach, and what will be up there. But I think the city's taking on some character. I don't know what kind of character yet, but we'll get to that eventually. And yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody. That's going to be the end of this episode. I like where it's going. I'm not sure about the pool yet, but I think once we have water in there and it looks like a pool and get some stuff out here, I think it'll start looking a lot much better. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.